Hey guys, Peter here to do an album review. Today I'm here to talk to you guys about the brand new record from Fleshgod Apocalypse, Veleno, out May 24th on Nuclear Blast. The album has 11 tracks and it's 51 minutes in length. Now, I never ever on this channel rated an album like from 1 to 10. And there's a reason for that, because I don't believe art should be rated, art should be experienced. I'm gonna break that with this record. To me, this album is 10 out of 10. There's only two words, perhaps more, but I feel like there's two words that can describe this record. Perfection, flawless. That is this record. There's not one single thing that I can look and find on this record to say that this record is nothing else but pure perfection. That's what Fleshgod Apocalypse has with this new album, and that's what they're going to give the fans May 24th. I normally don't do this. I felt extremely compelled to say this because this album is absolutely phenomenal. My opinion right now, it could change. It could change. We're still in May. But as of right now, this is the album of 2019. Absolutely a masterpiece of a record. This album has so many layers to it, musically and lyrically, that I really feel like this is like the equivalent to a lasagna. And there's no pun intended because I know the band is Italian. But this is the equivalent to a lasagna because there's just layers and layers upon layers upon layers. And the more you start looking into them, the more you discover that there was something else in there. This is an album that's extremely difficult to digest from that perspective. You cannot just listen to it and take it at first glance. This album really has to be processed, digested, and really assimilated over time because there's just so many complexities to the record. The record has a wide variety of influences, of styles, of dynamics, of sounds, of instruments, of orchestrations. Like, there's all sorts of stuff happening on this record that you're not going to get the full essence of it if you rush through it or you skip through it. You really have to sit down, pay attention, and listen to this record because you're going to be absolutely blown away by the quality of the record, by the amount of work that went into the record, the way it sounds, the way it's structured, the way it flows. Everything about this record was absolutely masterpiecefully done in order to create the overall sound that the record offers to the listener. I really feel like this album, from a structure perspective, and I want to talk about the lyrics, but from a structure perspective, it really felt to me that it's built like a movie or a play or an opera score. It really feels that way. It really feels like it starts with an opening act and then it takes you all the way to the final curtain call. That to me is the overall structure of the record. Sound-wise, it's how it appears to me as I sit down to listen to it. Now, lyrically, I really felt that this album offers a layered concept. There are tiers to this concept that involves the lyrics, it involves the cover artwork, and involves the name of the record, and to a certain degree, even the structure of how the record is put together. Now, if you think about it, Veleno means poison, it means venom. To me, in the world, there's a lot of different kinds of poison. There's a lot of different kinds of venom. You could look at drugs, you could look at actual poison, you could look at relationships, you could look at love, you could look at sex, you could look at anger, you could look at pride, guilt. There's so many different kinds. You could look at the church, at churches, religion. You can look at even us, humans. Perhaps we are the poison that's destroying this planet. So there is a multitude of different things you could associate with poison or poisonous. Behavior could be poisonous. So there's a lot of things that you can throw under that umbrella. And to me, this record really encompasses all of those items. I really feel listening to this record, there is a string that ties this album together. There is a theme. There is, like I said, there is a concept to it. It's a multifaceted, multi-layered concept. It's not just like you're telling you a story from song 1 to song 11. That's not what's happening. There is a multifaceted layering of a concept to this record that I really feel that it touches upon all of the subjects that I just mentioned. And that includes the music, it includes the lyrics, it includes the art cover work, and definitely the name of the record. I really feel that way about it. Now, there's a few things on this record that I feel that I have to break it down further because my God, I could be here for an hour talking about this record and I honestly don't feel like I would be able to cover every single aspect on the record. But there's a few that really deserve some mention. I'm going to start off with the drums. It wouldn't be a Fleshgod Apocalypse if the drums were not aggressive and impressive. The drums on this record are absolutely mind-blowing. on how good they are. Now, they are heavy, they are impressive, but how they were used from track to track in order to not just give the songs heaviness or fasten up the tempo of the songs, they were also used in some cases almost as an atmospheric element that really gives the song a different feel, a different vibe, a different flavor. I like that. I like that the drums are not just there in order to be powerful, to be pungent, to really punch a hole through the speakers. They're there to do a lot more than just that. They do that, but they also do a lot more than just that. Another element that I feel that deserves some attention is Veronica. My God, her performance on this album is, there's not enough words in the English vocabulary for me to use in order to describe her performance on this record. And you don't need to go too far. I tell you right now, if you want to see her at perhaps her pinnacle, go to the song The Day Will Be Gone. The Day That Will Be Gone is perhaps the song where she is on the forefront. She is the song. And I don't want to say too much about it because this is one of my favorite songs on the record, so I want to talk more about it. But that song to me really showcases her talent. It really showcases how good she is, and really showcases what she brings to the band and the dynamic that she gives to the songs. Absolutely incredible. Another element is the guitar work. The alternating styles of the guitar mixed in with what's coming from the drum side really is the lifeline. It really is the spinal cord of this band. I really felt listening to this album, they really incorporate a lot of different styles, from technical death metal, pure death metal, melodic death metal. All of these are at play. Even symphonic death metal. So all of these styles are at play, and they're really there with a more prominent presence due to the way the guitars are worked on this record. The way they created the guitar sounds, the riffs, even the solos, really added to the storytelling aspect of each specific track. It added to how melodic the song was, or to how dark the song was, or to how heavy it was. The guitars in partnership with the drums was really a 1-2 combo. I really felt that they were really coordinated. They were really well connected. So almost one would give you something when the other one is taking it away, and then vice versa. Absolutely magnificent job on the guitar side as far as this record is concerned. Last but definitely not least, I need to mention the piano and the orchestration on the record. This is at an extremely high level. And this album, they really pushed the envelope as far as the piano is concerned and the overall orchestration, the symphonic elements, the choirs. The choirs on this record is like angels singing. Absolutely phenomenal. I really like that. I really like what it gives the album. It gives a cinematic score vibe to the overall record. And I love what they do with the piano. I love that in some songs they allow the piano to be in the forefront and be one of the main guiding lights, and in other songs they push it to the background almost as an atmospheric element to just give the song a little bit of extra melody, because you have so much heaviness, so much harshness coming from the drums and the guitars and the vocals that you need a little bit of something to offset all of that heaviness, and the piano is normally their go-to, and they use it predominantly in the background of those tracks to just give you enough melody, just allowing it to peek its head, specifically in choruses. They allow the piano sound to come through a little bit stronger during the choruses, and it just gives the song such a melodic feel, such a melodic sound. I absolutely love it. Now, as favorite songs are concerned, this was hard, because to be honest with you, I could have picked almost any of the 11 tracks on this record as my favorite songs, because there's not one single song that I could say that I didn't like, or that there was something there that I would have done differently. But these three, from the first time that I listened to it, and I'm not counting the singles, because to me Sugar is one of the greatest songs on the record. I'm not counting the singles. So if I don't count the singles, the first time that I went through the record, these three songs were the ones that spoke to me the most. I'm going to start with Monnalisa. This song, in my opinion, is the best track on the record. It's the one that perhaps gives you the best synopsis of what the whole record has to offer, not just musically, but lyrically as well. I like the choir at the start. There's a very symphonic orchestration at the intro with the choir, with the guitars, with the absolutely melodic guitar riff that it dissipates, but then it comes back every single chorus. And it's absolutely magnificent, because this is a song that really alternates a lot of heaviness and darkness during the verses with a more melodic, and it brightens up the songs in the choruses. So I really like that dynamic between verses and choruses. Verses a lot darker, a lot heavier, and then a more melodic, a more brighter chorus. I really like that dynamic that this song has to offer. The piano in the song adds a little bit of synastry to the song. It really creates an ambiance, a really dark, embracing ambiance. Almost something out of a horror movie, of a thriller, something out of Poltergeist. It has this really weird vibe that it really gives the song this really strange feel to it. I absolutely love that. I love how they used it but not abused it. It was really important. There are some spoken words throughout the song. I really like that as well because it changes the dynamic of the song. It gives it adds to that dark embrace that the piano is giving it. It gives that dark embrace, so I really like that. And I really like the whole fluidity that the song has, really from the beginning to the end. And they did something in this song that I thought was extremely well put together. You have the solo, you have the guitar solo on this song. It's followed by Veronica singing, beautifully singing with the drums behind her. Then after that, you get a piano solo. So you get three different aspects of what Fleshgod Apocalypse is all about. You get the guitars, you get Veronica's voice, and then you get the piano. And the three come back to back to back before the chorus comes in with their absolute beautiful guitar melody. And then it's very violent as the song ends. The song has a very violent ending, specifically from the drums, compared to how beautiful the beginning is. I love how this song is put together. I love the lyrics of this song. The lyrics of this song really make you think. I really believe that this is going to be an album that once the lyrics are released, you need to go back and listen to it and have the lyrics with you. I think you're going to discover a whole new side of this record that perhaps without the lyrics you're not going to be able to capture. But next song I want to talk to you guys about is Worship and Forget. This track is a lot different than Monnalisa. This track, while Monnalisa had a beauty in pain and suffering in that beauty, this one is just violent and aggressive from the get-go. The drums on this track are absolutely relentless, while the other song, Melody, was the key component. In this one, aggression and violence are the components, and they predominantly are coming from the drums, but then obviously with the guitars and vocals, coming together to give you this barrage of heaviness and aggression that this song has from the beginning to the end. Now, there are some moments in the song that it really allows you to catch your breath. Those moments are not they're not long. They're really short, compact. You get a few moments here and there where you get a little bit of a breather, but this song overall is one of the most aggressive songs on the record. One of the ones that really has a lot of violence to the way it sounds, has a lot of anger, and all of that comes through predominantly through the drums, because the drums are really setting the tempo and the momentum that the song has from beginning to the end. I like also what they did with the spoken word and with Veronica's voice. It adds almost a church-like vibe to the song, and it's followed by one of the greatest solos on the whole record. So I like that dynamic. I like the dynamic that it gives the song, because when you think about this song, Worship and Forget, there is a little bit of a religious connotation to it. There's a little bit of a religious connotation, perhaps more than a little, but it's up to you to decide. There's a little bit of religious connotation to the lyrics. So the fact that they use Veronica's vocals and the way they use the orchestration around her at that specific point, it really gives a sense of church. It gives a sense almost of a church choir. It has that religious vibe to it that plays really well on the overall message of the song. I think the two are extremely well connected, and they are at a 1-2 punch that makes the song come to life, and it really allows the listener to connect to it at a much deeper level. Last but not least, The Day We Will Be Gone. This song, like I mentioned earlier in my review, this is Veronica's song. She's in the forefront. She's the predominant singer on this track. The harsh vocals are in the background. Later on in the track, they switch. I really like that dynamic. I like the fact that they kept her in the forefront as the main singer, and it really feels to me that they use the harsh vocals almost as backup vocals in the background, as a layer in the background. Later on in the track, the two switch roles, and I feel that that's extremely well put together. It's a complete different twist. This song throws you for a loop because there's no other song that has this dynamic on the record. It's a predominantly a piano song, a piano piece with Veronica singing, almost like an opera song, a pure and simple opera song that has layers to it. And one of that layers is the twist towards the middle end of the song, where the two singers switch places. You get her to come into the background more as a backup vocalist, and you get the harsh vocals to move into the forefront as the predominant, and then switching back again as the song goes towards the end. It switches back again. I really like that because this is a song that's completely different. There is no song that comes even near it on this record as far as its sound, as far as its structure, as far as it comes at you. The mood is such a dark, somber, melancholic mood that this song has. Beautiful at the same time. Another song that has a beautiful guitar solo that adds to that melancholic factor that the overall track has, specifically from the mixture of the piano with her voice, is absolutely beautiful. It's haunting, absolutely haunting. I really like that. But to me, this song works at so many levels because of her in the forefront, the harsh vocals in the background with that piano playing. The song gets heavier down the road. When it gets heavier, they switch them around with the harsh vocals coming to the forefront, her going to the background, and then as the song is getting towards the bitter end, it switches back again with her in the forefront with the piano and the harsh vocals in the background. Absolutely magnificent. This album is a masterpiece from the first to the last song. Like I said, I could be eating my words down the road. I could be made a fool by another band releasing an incredible record this year. I hope that happens. It would be a good sign for metal and for metal music. But as of right now, this is the best record of 2019. It's flawless from beginning to end. There isn't something, I dare somebody find something wrong with this record at any point in time on any single track. This record is magnificent. I think this record will become even better once the lyrics come out and you're able to follow every single song with the lyrics. I think at that point, it's going to be like Pandora's box. You're going to open up that box and you're not going to believe what's in it. And all the evils of the world will go unleashed. Alright guys, I want to hear your thoughts on the band, on the record, favorite songs. Use the comment section below. I'll be reading those and getting back to you. Take care guys.